Hello and welcome to this edition of 101 with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. I'm Lorna Virgili and thank you for joining us. Hello, Mr. Leggett. How are you?
Very well. How are you today?
Very well. How is the weather treating you?
Off and on.
But you're happy about not so much snow this year, huh?
Oh, certainly.
As we tape this show, County Council has not officially approved your FY18 $5.44 billion budget. Have you heard anything back? Do you feel that it's going to move forward just the way it was, or?
Well, I haven't heard anything that's drastically bad, but I'm concerned about one or two factors: the expenditures over and above the recommendations, because I think we took a very cautious approach, believing that there are some challenges out there ahead for us because of the large number of federal workers that we have, some ongoing expenses that we have that's built into the budget already, plus some anticipated costs going into FY19 and beyond. And so we need a little bit more flexibility. And so this budget was designed as a cautious budget, and I hope that they will at least stay within those parameters as close to as possible.
You haven't heard any complaints?
Not as of yet.
not as of today.
Yes.
One of the things that we did hear back from County Council is about transportation issue, BRT, the bus rapid transit approval of $7.5 million already to start that corridor on Route 29,
yes.
on 29, right?
Yes.
And one thing that they were talking about, Berliner and Ehrlich as well, was instead of having the route on the side of the route as you had recommended, but in the medium, in the center. And
well, we will continue to look at that as we go through the planning processes, but I think that the early recommendation is one that I stand by at this point in time. But the Department of Transportation certainly will look at and evaluate any suggestions that the council has made to make sure that we are making the right decision and to ensure that when we go forward, it will best serve the people, especially those in the East County. We need some transportation relief, and this certainly will help us.
so with the 7.5 already approved and another 10
from the federal, we have
from the federal
10
government.
from the federal Tiger grant from the federal government. We think that we are at least in the early stages of this with the resources that we need to get us started. It will cost a little bit more for us to complete the project, but that will happen over a number of years.
Okay. Let's talk about Annapolis.
Sure.
The session wrapped up a bit ago, but do you feel that the county got a financial boost this year?
Well, we can always use more, and we need more. But when you we think in mind about what happened in Annapolis this year, we did increase significantly the amounts for school construction. We increased significantly the amount for transportation. When I say significantly, that's over and above what we originally had anticipated. But there are still additional resources that we need, both in transportation and in our school system, because our school system is growing at about 2,500 students per year, and that has happened over the last 3 or 4 years. We believe that the state should play a greater role in both construction and operating funds for Montgomery County Public Schools. And we will continue to press and continue to push hard for that. But I was not disappointed. Certainly we could use more. But our legislators have done a terrific job under some very, very difficult circumstances in Annapolis. And I applaud them for the work that they've accomplished thus far.
One of the items, if we can call them items, on transportation is I-270. We had the governor, Larry Hogan, visit the county once again, this year again, stand at the same location next to I-270 and announce an additional $150 million to relieve congestion on I-270. I went to the press event the year before. I went to the press event this year, but I haven't seen construction yet. So what are we waiting for here?
Well, the good thing is we got the money, and he made a commitment a year earlier. He's delivered on that. We had some challenges, as you may note, that some people wanted more and wanted the plan to be much more ambitious. And that may happen over a period of time, but as he indicated in the press announcement and his remarks on 270, this is the first stage of what we hope will be an ongoing effort to continue to improve I-270. And so I'm not going to hold up a $100 million contribution to help relieve traffic under the anticipation and hope and expectation that somewhere down the line we will get much more before we actually start. I'd much rather start with the $100 million now, build on that, and continue to work toward more meaningful improvements down the line. But I think this is a good start. The governor has delivered on the promise it made, and we will continue to build on that in order to give the kind of relief that we're looking for. Some of the plans suggest at least the AEM peak hours, that there could be as much as half an hour savings. That's a great deal for many of our residents who are caught in traffic today. So we can't simply wait until we have the best, perfect solution in order to fund it to go forward. Let's take a solution that is reasonable, that's on the table, and build from there.
And for you, what is a reasonable solution?
A reasonable solution is those things that will relieve traffic. We need some directional approaches that will allow more traffic as it relates to the ongoing ramps along 270. We need to have more staggered entries onto 270, so that would be appropriate. And we probably need to have restriping of 270, but I would also like to see additional width of the 270 so that we can get more cars in that corridor.
Let's talk about the Purple Line. You
Sure.
participated with some transit activists and other elected officials in a rally, sending out a call and a message to Judge Leon about the legal decision necessary to move forward with Purple Line, which is stuck right now in the courts, basically.
Right.
Any feedback? Do you hear back from the judge? I'm sure you're not, but I'm just pushing the limits here regarding this decision.
Not yet, but let's be clear. We cannot continue to wait. It costs the county money. And I said at the rally that each delay, it's cost our taxpayers, each hour, each second that we're waiting. The project continues to go up. And so if the argument, at least from the governor, at least from the judge, was that he wanted to look at cost, the estimates, basically the amounts of money that we're spending, and see whether or not that's reasonable, and have we factored in all the potential cost elements. Well, take in mind what is happening now. We are increasing the cost. And so my view is that we need a decision. I don't want to second guess the judge in terms of the factors that he needs in order to make a decision. If there are additional information that he needs, we'll provide that. But to delay with no decision, no clear justification for it at this point in time, I think that he needs to be called on that to say we need a timely decision, because it is costing the taxpayers of Montgomery County and the state of Maryland a great deal of money.
Are you afraid that the county might lose the $125 million that are within the federal spending budget by September if we don't have a decision?
I'm not concerned so much about that as I'm concerned more about the price, the fact that the price may go up. The price may go up simply because there are delays, and when you have those kinds of delays, it costs additional monies. The project, in my opinion, will be built. The question is what time frame that we'll be on and how much additional money will it cost us.
Okay, Mr. Leggett, we got to take a short break. We'll be right back with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. Stay tuned.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop. You'll fight litter and keep the change.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hey, mister, down here. You illegally passed the stop school bus. I'm placing you in timeout. And this timeout means big fines, plus you really could have hurt somebody. That's why school buses are being equipped with video cameras to help kids like me stay safe. So respect the bus.
Welcome back to One-on-One with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. I'm Lorna Virgili. Mr. Leggett, let's touch on a couple of immigration issues. First, the two students that were originally arrested and charged with alleged raping a 14-year-old female at Rockville High School, and the state attorney's office dropping the rape charges afterwards. What happened there?
Well, you'd have to talk to the state's attorney to get the details of why he made the decision, but knowing Jordan McCarthy as I do and how strongly he feels about sexual violence toward anyone, for him to drop the charges had to be a very well thought out decision, and he could not have made that without having weighed all the factors concerned. And so for him, this was not a close call in terms of making the right decision about whether or not to go forward. So I trust his judgment. He's a guy who really looks seriously at these types of charges, and for him to make that decision, I believe that he had the best factors in mind. I don't want to, debate what those factors may have been, but I'm sure that he's considered them very carefully. So I'm satisfied with his explanations thus far. One of the things that disturbed me about this was the overly simplification of the charge and the need to sort of stereotype an entire community. We have very, very strong community members from all over the world live in Montgomery County, and for many to sort of stereotype an entire community of our immigrant population in Montgomery County as it relates to this particular case, I thought was wrong. And so that to me is something that we have to continue to work on to ensure that we repair that kind of damage and image that have been thrown out there, but to, in many ways, to sort of characterize an entire community by the alleged acts of these two young people, I thought it was something that was unfortunate and could cause some lasting damage in our community that we as a community must work to overcome.
Let's talk about ICE recently coming down harshly towards Montgomery County regarding honoring detainers. And this was related to a case of an 18-year-old that was arrested from Albert Einstein High School. Right. Driving a stolen vehicle and in possession of stolen firearms that belonged to a police officer from the city of Rockville. What is the policy, let's just clear it out, honoring detainers from ICE when it comes to Montgomery County government?
Well, let me go back to this particular case. First of all, I think in this case we made a mistake. Given the level of the charges that were made, a firearm on a school ground potentially causing potential harm to our students in that environment was a charge for which we should have honored the detainer. What we try to do in Montgomery County is a careful balance. That is to not respond to detainers from ICE that relates to misdemeanor and small crimes, the traffic violations, the kinds of things that people are oftentimes picked up and arrested for. But when we talk about a serious crime, you talk about a felony, assaults, burglaries to that degree, and when you're talking about rape and other kinds of cases, we have a policy that would honor those. It should honor those based upon the charges that are being made and the underlying factors that go into that. And so we've looked at the policy, and to make certain that our policy is consistent with what I've just expressed. There was a little bit of a challenge as it relates to this case because there are some underlying factors that were not calculated into the original request that we were able to find sometimes later that we should have picked up. But based on the factors that I see them as today, that should have been a detainer that we should have honored. And so I want to make sure that we provide the safety, but I do not want to have us become the agents for the federal government and to arrest people and have detainers served on people who are basically otherwise law-abiding people who have engaged in some minor acts in the county.
Let's transition into housing. Recently you announced a new program, the Montgomery Homeownership Program, which can grant up to $40,000 to potential home buyers in the county that qualify. No interest on the $40,000. You return them back when you sell the home. So do you think this is something that would be extended since initially only $1 million, I'm saying
Only $1 million.
only $1 million has been allocated? That would serve nearly, 20, 30 families maybe. But more funding into that program for the future?
Yeah, we plan to increase that amount. We have a housing initiative fund for which we've dedicated in this budget for overall affordable housing about 2.5% of our entire budget. And so what we want to do is to start here, but we intend to increase the number of potential homeowners who could be served by this program. But the first installation of this was $1 million, and it will help a number of families throughout Montgomery County. Trying to obtain the closing costs to get into your first home or a home at a cost of up to about $500,000 in Montgomery County is not easy. And so what we want to do is try to assist in that endeavor. And we found a way in which to make this work, but we want to make sure that we can expand that program to get more people engaged in it. But it will help a number of people starting off this year.
And anybody interested needs to go through the Maryland Mortgage Program website.
That's
Just
correct.
a quick Google to find the program. Another program, the Small Business Program, you announced also that $46 million have already been invested into banks located in the county to help small businesses and create jobs. How many jobs?
About 1,300 jobs thus far, and it's a pretty remarkable success story for the county. It's a program that I started some years ago, and I looked at what we were doing with many of the deposits that we have in Montgomery County, and we're providing deposits to a large number of banks. And so we crafted a program that was designed to provide deposits from county revenues into local banks if they reinvest those into some small businesses. They agreed to do so, and thus far we've provided about $46 million to those banks. They reinvest. The county receives, of course, our normal interest for that, but they are able to parallel that into additional amounts of monies that go to small businesses that create jobs in the county. And as a result of the transitions of monies to those banks, they've been able to create about 1,300 jobs, which I think is quite remarkable for us.
Participating banks are Capital Bank, Congressional, and Eagle Bank.
Yes.
And if I go there, I'm a small business owner, and said Ike sent me, they need to process my application, right?
That's right.
All right. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. Stay tuned.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dome, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes. Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups.
Woohoo!
We're in! For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today.
A message about protecting your pipes and ours from WSSC.
Hello, welcome back to this edition of 101. I'm still here with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. Mr. Leggett, pedestrian safety. I know this is close, near, and dear to your heart. There was an event involving Montgomery County, jurisdiction of Prince George's, also the state of Maryland, at one of the deadliest intersections or most dangerous intersections in the state of Maryland in Langley Park. Yes. In the last 10 years, this administration has invested roughly $70 million in engineering improvements, education, and enforcement. Still this year, there have been 172 automobile accidents involving pedestrians with 3 fatalities. Your message to pedestrians and drivers and bicyclists in the county?
Well, the message is that we want to ensure public safety, pedestrian safety, and it's a two-way street. We want people to be well educated. The county wants to provide the engineering help and support, and we will enforce the laws as we see them. But we need the help and support of our community in order to recognize that pedestrian safety is a very serious matter throughout this entire region. So we want you to be alert, want to be well educated, informed, and we have to remind people consistently about the challenges that they face as pedestrians and as drivers throughout the region. Our message was simply to bring attention to that factor because we believe that the more awareness, the better people are educated about it, the better likelihood is that we're going to reduce the amount of traffic collisions with pedestrians. There are simple things that you can do in terms of the clothing that you wear, listening to cell phones as you're walking across the street, making certain that you have eye contact with the drivers when you're trying to cross at an intersection, reading carefully the signs along the road about where you should walk and where you should not walk. All of those things are important and many others as well, but it requires both of us working together. The county, engineering, enforcing, and educating, and the public to be much more receptive and to be forewarned about the challenge that we face on the streets today.
Distraction seems to be the main component, as stated by the law enforcement authorities that were there present at the press event.
Both way distraction, the driver being distracted as well as the pedestrian being distracted.
Those cell phones, I tell you. Recently was the Fallen Officers Memorial. That's always a very emotional ceremony you attended. And also another emotional ceremony here in the county was the renaming of the Wheaton Glenmont Pool. That was renamed Fallen Officer Hector Alaya. God, I can't believe I couldn't pronounce that. Hector Alaya. Yes, I can. This was a tribute, obviously, to him, his family, but also the community, in particular the Hispanic community, right?
Certainly. It's a reminder that our officers perform a very dangerous job in providing the safety for our community. And when you look at this young officer, his family is left behind, the least that we can do is not only place the name and the name of our fallen heroes in our memorial, but to also express from the community standpoint our belief that he is a hero and a real hero to our community, and to appropriately rename the Wheaton Pool in his honor. And so I was delighted to be there with a large community of police officers, law enforcement around the region, but more importantly, the family, and to see the joy and the satisfaction of the family and the community about this renaming.
The Green Fest was celebrated, sort of wrap up Earth Month in Montgomery County, because we celebrate an entire month. And you showed up in a pretty cool car. So the county has acquired 16 electric, Chevrolet Bolt, right? Electric vehicles.
Right.
Are we going to get more?
We plan to. We want to make certain that the county is, in fact, a role model for what we're asking other residents to do. And we encourage people to look at alternative fuel vehicles, and electric cars is certainly one of the more popular options that's out there. We have provided a number of charging stations around the community. We want to do as much as we can for zero emission of fossil fuels as it relates to not only automobiles but other entities as well. And so as an example, and as something that we are moving to for our future vehicles, we are going to consider even more purchases of electric vehicles. And I think that the ones that we have now will prove very efficient and satisfactory to the county, and allow us in a timely fashion to acquire even more.
only one other jurisdiction in the East Coast has these electric cars within county government, the fleet.
Yeah.
New York City.
Yeah.
Where school is New York, I guess.
Yes.
Since we're talking green, you were there for the planting of the 1,800th tree under the Tree Montgomery program. 1,800 trees have already been planted by the Department of Environmental Protection,
Right.
and other entities as well. But this is really cool. Can you tell the county residents how they can get a brand new tree in their home? Large tree, though.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at a large tree. We contact the Department of Environmental Protection. We'll put you on the list for a tree and try to get it to you as quickly as possible. I will note that there are a number of people on that list thus far. But I want to tip my hat off to the Environmental Protection Office. They've worked very hard to implement this program, and also to Councilmember Hans Arima, who came to me with the idea of enhancing our tree planting operations in the county, and we found ways in which to make that work. We are aggressively doing that, and we hope to plant even more trees in the county, and to see that we provide the shade, to provide the kind of aesthetics that I think the county needs, and it's our attempt to make certain that we replace and replenish many of the trees that are falling, because when you go through the storms during the winter, you go through the many weather challenges that we face, we actually lose an awful lot of trees, and so we can't maintain that if we're just planting 1,800. We need the help and support of a variety of people throughout this county, a variety of organizations to help us in that endeavor. But we wanted to be a leader, to use the county as an example, but we need the help and support of the broader community to enhance the quality of tree planting throughout the county.
Libraries. We've had this one opening, 2 closings, and 1 renaming. You've been busy. You love the libraries.
I really do love libraries.
The Dana's Library opened.
That's
Reopened
right.
after the refresh program, being refreshed. Queen's Orchard and White Oak closed,
That's
and
right.
Poolsville was renamed.
That's right. And we're about to go through Bethesda. So we're moving.
And Wheaton, it's
Yes.
been built.
Yes.
So very quickly, Mr. Leggett, the recreation, it's going to be extending programs, summer camps, and additional programs this summer due to the fact that the school year will start after the Labor Day holiday. Can you talk about a little bit about what you're offering?
Well, we're offering to continue the many camps and programs that we provide throughout the summer. Unfortunately, the school will open after Labor Day, which means there's a time period for which many families would normally have their kids in school, can't afford camps, and so we're providing some additional financial support to extend the program throughout the summer for a couple of weeks.
So I know summer is coming up, but I think the penguins came back too. Remember that? That
That's
was
right.
a fun event here
That's
in the
right.
county
That's
recently.
right.
You have one of these,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Okay, so we have hundreds of these at the metro station in Silver Spring. You were there. A loud message about public arts in the public.
Certainly, and I urge people to take a very careful look at the penguins display at the Silver Spring metro station. We had this up some years ago and it deteriorated a little bit, but we brought them back now and it's there to enjoy.
There we go. Ready for summer, and the penguins are back.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Mr. Leggett. Thank you so much. And for you watching, do remember any information, do visit montgomerycountymd.gov. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
Hey, she took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going.
Recycle more now.